Okay, hi guys. We're going on to One Crazy Summer, and I'm gonna move on to um, Mean Lady Ming. That's chapter 4. Um, I just wanted to recap chapters 1, 2, and 3 for you. So, chapter 1, 2, and 3 basically was the introduction and the exposition of the characters. So, we met the characters of Anetta, we met Fern, we met, oh my gosh, I'm drawing my blank right now. But we met the three sisters, and we kind of get to know their personalities. So we know Vanetta is kind of like the leader, the one that takes care of the other two. We know that the younger sister's kind of very funny, and she's full of energy and life, and so the author has now talked to us about all three characters and has kind of introduced the background characters of Big Ma and Pa, and those are Grandma and Dad. And so we also, though, meet Cecile. And Cecile, when we talk about the characterization of her, we see Cecile's very, like, not very loving. Like, she just, even meeting her children for the first time in a long time, she was kind of standoffish. She didn't want to deal with it. She just kind of walked faster, didn't really make conversation, told him there's your bedroom, go on. And so we see her as not being the most loving of mothers. um but we also, the author at this point has already done like the inciting incident, what kind of starts the problems, right? We know that this woman is like mysterious for a reason. So she's hiding something. And we're not sure what it is yet, but we know that this is where the story kind of unfolds. Um, and so I just wanted to think about it. They've been on this long journey, 6 hours on an airplane. They're probably tired. They're probably hungry. So let's see how Cecile would deal with this. Okay, Mean Lady Me. We stood as one looking up at her, me in the front, Vanetta Unfern on the sides. She was tall and broad-shouldered where Pa was just tall. As hungry as I was, all I could think was that they made you dance with a boy in the 6th grade, that I would never look right dancing with the boy, and for that I had to seal to thank. I spoke first. We're hungry. As usual, my sister's voices followed on the top of mine. Vanetta, what's for supper? Then Fern, hungry, hungry? She rubbed her belly. We made a picture, us looking up at her and her looking down at us. In the animal kingdom, the mother bird brings back what all she gathered all the day and dropped it in and opened the mouth of each bird squawking to be fed. Cecile looked at us like it didn't occur to her that we would be hungry and that she'd have to do what mothers do, feed their young. I'm no big ma in the kitchen, but I would have opened a can of beans and fried them up some franks. I can bake a chicken and boil potatoes. I would have never let my long gone daughters travel nearly 3,000 miles without turning on the stove. She said, what do you want from me? Supper, I answered. It's past 8 o'clock. We haven't had real food since breakfast with Big Ma and Papa. I kept going. That was, I glanced at my wrist, 9 hours and 12 minutes ago. But it is next. Airline food don't count. Fern laughed. Surely don't. She was still looking down at us, as if we'd thrown a monkey wrench into her quiet Tuesday evening. Then she spoke. Where's the money your father gave you? I crossed my arms. There was no way she was getting our money. That money, that money's for Disneyland, I told her, to go on all the rides and meet Tinker Bell. This was the first time we heard Cecile laugh, and she laughed like a crazy mother she was turning out to be. Is Tinker Bell going to feed you? She was still laughing. We didn't think she was funny. We said nothing rather than talk back and get slapped. Look, she said, if you want to eat, hand over the money. I stared her down, something I'd never tried with Big Ma. Cecile didn't seem to care. She said, fine, I got plenty of air sandwiches here. Go on. Go back to your room. Open your mouth and catch one. The stare down ended right there. I unlaced my right tennis shoe, wriggled out my foot, and removed the mound of tens and twenties Paul had given me. Cecile didn't care that the money had been baking under my foot since we'd left Brooklyn. She took the money, unfolded, and counted the bills, then stuffed them into her pants pocket, except for the $10 bill, which she held out to me. Go around the corner to Mink's. Order a large shrimp lo mein. She counted her head as if she didn't know how many of us she'd had. 4 egg rolls and a big bottle of Pepsi. Vanetta and Fern squealed for shrimp and Pepsi, forgetting that this was wrong. Our mother should have cooked real food for us. At the very least, baked a chicken, made franks, and beans. Fruit punch, I said. Big Ma don't allow us to have strong drinks. Cecile let out a single whoop of laugh. Vanetta and Fern were too excited of having takeout to see our mother was crazy. I said, we have to call Pa. Let him know we are right. And they chimed in, safe and sound on the ground. Cecile said, phone's next to me. You mean you don't have a phone? Vanetta asked. Cecile said, I don't have no one to call, and I don't want no one calling me. Whether Cecile had a phone or was not my main worry. We have to go out after 8 to call Pa and get food. Aren't you coming with us? It means a couple blocks down, Mongolia, around the corner. She pointed in the direction. Phone booth's right there. When we were barely at the door, she added, and tell me to give you 4 plates, 4 forks, 4 napkins, and 4 paper cups. No sense dirtying dishes, and you're not coming inside my kitchen. We all looked at one another, and thought the same thing. Crazy. I led the way into the direction Cecile pointed, down the walk, past the slumping palm tree, and made a right turn. Vanetta and Fern, as usual, nipped the heels of my tennis shoes. It wasn't dark at all, but it wasn't high daylight either. Kids all ages still ran around playing in yards and riding bikes on the streets. I bet kids ran around and played out here all year long, and not only in the summer. We usually went to summer camp at the Y and drove down to Alabama in Papa's Wildcat. We came upon the kids playing freeze tag. They jumped from lively wiggle worms to frozen statues just as we neared their yard. We felt the smirks of the gaping statues on us. Vanetta smiled, welcoming their interest in us. She was scouting out new friends to be with for the next 28 days. I let her lag a step or two behind to wink and smile at them. You can't stop Vanetta from chasing after friends. I kept walking, Fern sticking close to me. Vanetta skipped on until she caught up. One thing was for sure, these blocks might have been long like the blocks in the Herkheimer Street, but they were far from Brooklyn. I didn't know where any of these streets led, but I walked down Mongolia like I knew where I was going. I couldn't help but notice that not one yard had palm tree, not one, or stucco, not one house was painted the crazy green color. I was thinking this when behind crept a rumbling against the concrete, like a barrel rolling. The rolling broken by a cracks of the sidewalk. I turned. A voice yelled, "Gangway!" We tried to jump aside, but the 3 of us jumping all together only got us so far. A boy on the wooden board, flying tee with tricycle wheels on the back, rumbled by the man and managed to clip me good. Hey, watch out! I called after him, shaking my fist. He only stopped at the corner to pick up his flying tee, carry it across the street, and lay it back down on the side. Sorry, he yelled, turning it around. Then he gave it a running push and jumped on it, eventually lying stomach down, his arms outstretched as he held on to both ends of the team. What was that? Vanetta asked. Some stupid boy, I said. Come on, y'all. I had to pull Vanetta's chin away from the direction of the boy on the flying tee. She kept looking even after he was long gone. Ming was where Cecile said it was, around the corner, and a couple blocks down. There was a big sign, Ming's, and underneath it read neon characters that looked like fighting men waving swords. The telephone booth was also where Cecile said it would be, right next to me. I planned on calling Big Pop before getting the food, but the booth was already occupied by a light-skinned guy with the big floppy afro. He was turned sideways, but I could see his profile, his beakish nose, the way he pushed his head this way and that suspiciously while he talked. We stood with our arms folded, waiting for him to finish. He looked like a fugitive from justice. I could spot one when I saw one. I love good crime story, especially the FBI crime show late on late. I sneaked to catch whatever Big Ma falls asleep after sleep watching. That's how this guy looked, like he was calling his ma to see if the coast was clear to come home without the mob or the coppers on his trail. He saw us standing with our arms folded and turned his back to us. I got it. He had a lot of dimes, and planned to use each one. We went inside Mink's. We were barely in the restaurant, which wasn't a restaurant, just a counter with the kitchen on the far side and two small tables with the benches on the side. The Chinese lady behind the counter said, "No free egg rolls. No more free egg rolls." Sorry, guys. She waved her hands like shoestring cats. I didn't know how to answer. I didn't ask for any free egg rolls, but we were on only ones. I didn't know how to answer. I didn't ask for any free egg rolls, but we were on the only ones inside Ming's, and she was staring straight at me. Vanetta said, "We don't want free egg rolls." Fern piped in, "We want shrimp lo mein and Pepsi," Vanetta said, "and 4 plates, 4 forks, 4 napkins, and 4 cups, and 4 egg rolls. All for money, not for free." Finally, I said, "It's takeout to go." I uncurled a $10 bill to show her. Usually I'm a Johnny on the spot, speaking up for my sisters and me, but this time I went blank for no reason I could think of. It was nice to see Vanetta and Fern jump right in. The lady shouted in Chinese to the back of the kitchen. She sounded even meaner than when she'd said no free egg rolls. I decided that just like Cecile was crazy, the Chinese lady was mean. Mean lady mean. She nodded to us and said, "Okay, sit." We sat down and waited. Mean Lady Ming kept talking. Everybody poured. Everybody hungry. "I give free egg roll. Feel sorry. Then everyone come for free egg roll." She muttered on like Cecile did and looked mean and tired like Big Ma looks on the washboard days. While I was sitting with my sisters, I made up my mind about Oakland. There was nothing and no one in Oakland to like. I would get on the plane and fly back to New York if Big Ma showed up wanting her grandbabies. I wouldn't even tell Cecile, "Thanks for the visit." Okay, I'm going to stop there. Okay, let me pull it. Okay, so a part of the story, it says, what does Delphine mean when she says she enjoys her role as Vanetta and Fern's enemy and big sister? So I want you to answer that one as well. And then we're done for writing as of this week. So we have gone through chapters 1 through 4. We've gone through our vocabulary. Don't worry if you're not able to see Quill. You should be doing, if you have access to it, some sort of con. That way you're still working on what our grade level standard we're working on dividing fractions. So hopefully you're doing that. You should be doing at least one a day for the math spiral. And again, if you have any questions on any of them, please let me know. And if you are absolutely tired of everything and you just want to do something fun, which I think is fun, you can do a coloring square. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.